Is it starting? Yes. Hello and welcome to the Baron Corbin edition of the Wolf Tap. Because I'm by myself today. Probably for good reason, because, well, if you've been looking at Raw and SmackDown and WWE in general this week, it's just been the drizzling shits. Well, hey, Vexpir, hey, you just came in time, I guess. Just in time, I just started.
Tater tots are American, you dummy. That's how I wanted to open it, but oh well.
I'm not alone anymore. I still haven't gotten hold of Maryland, and I was like, I was gonna just go in and do it solo, because, man, this WWE this week was, like, I was late because I was like, oh, I gotta do one, because I was, like, dreading. I'm like, oh. Like, usually I'm like, oh, cool. I'm like, this week's, like, the first time in a long time where I'm just like, oh, yeah.
You want to know how bad Raw was this week? Okay. There's a guy I follow on Twitter, and he's like a parody, he like parodies stuff. He turned off Raw midway and learned the Charleston through YouTube videos.
I believe
That's how bad Raw was.
I believe it.
That's how bad Raw was.
Oh, man. I just saw a thing on Twitter just now that Triple H, was it Cage-Side Suits website, Triple H promises he'll find a way to fix Raw, because I guess he is finally aware, hopefully, of the really low ratings and the just overall shittiness of the show in general.
Yeah.
And for being 3 hours, you gotta sit through what I just sat through, and I had to write it all down.
They're never gonna change it back to 2 hours, because for 3 hours makes them money.
Yeah. I get they're down because their roster's kind of depleted because everyone's injured, but there's a it can't just fall to that. You know, there's still means to fix it.
Big time.
And saying that they are aware of it and actively setting out to do that seem right now is like few and far between. So far removed from one another. It's anyway, before I talk about that, I can talk about some hype shit going on in gaming with a PlayStation experience came and went by. Holy shit, SNK Playmore bringing Last Blade 2 to PS4 and Vita. One more reason to eventually get a PS4. Along with KOF 14, which is, looks really interesting. They brought in Billy King, Ralph, Kula Diamond. Most of them have different outfits except for Kula, because she's kind of boring. And for the first time in a while, Angel. So maybe we'll get like 2.5D People's Elbow. I hope she keeps that.
Also, is this the first time a King of Fighters game is 3D?
No, they experimented with that with like a true 3D thing with like a Maximum Impact series. But this looks more like a 2.5 kind of thing, like Street Fighter 4 was.
Well, that's 2.5. This is like legit, like Street. Well, I wouldn't compare it to Street Fighter.
Well, Street Fighter 4 guys working on it, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
We finally get to reveal for Fong, as they pronounce it. It's it's an acronym, so it stands for something. FANG. He is apparently the second in command of Shadaloo. All of a sudden, there's like his stage is probably my favorite so far, just by looking at it. It's like a fucking Mount Rushmore of Shadaloo, just all four dudes back there. Just Fong with like his really wide brimmed hat. He's all about the poisoning in his trigger and effects. It makes me think of I might have mentioned this last week or something like that. I don't remember anymore. I do know Guilty Gear Xrd is is already on Steam, rather. New Blaze Blue.
I didn't know there was gonna be
Under Night In Birth and Melty Blood is coming next year. So.
Really? I thought it was coming like 2017.
Looking at Steam right now, maybe. Yeah, according to them, February is the BlazBlue Melty Blood in spring, and Underneath in Birth is in summer, which might be a little whatchamacallit, because isn't the sequel coming out? Or maybe it's...
I am not 100% sure on that.
Me neither.
So don't quote me on that. Also, PlayStation VR.
Yeah. And lots of it. Oh.
I'm looking at like the list of games that are currently planned or announced rather for PlayStation VR, and I have heard almost none of these, except for Harmonix Music VR. Harmonix are the people who made Guitar Hero.
Yes.
So, I guess they really want you to have that experience minus all the drugs.
They're doing Rez. They're doing a... I forget. It's been been like a whole
Project Kitchen by Capcom.
Oh.
I guess it's a cooking game made by Capcom. I guess.
3D Cooking Mama.
Oh my goodness! First person Cooking Mama.
Yeah, like Surgeon Simulator, but with cooking. That's what one of the other games looked like. I forget what it was called. It was like wasn't it like Farming Simulator or some stupid shit like that?
It would make sense.
It looked like a lot of standing up to play games, which I haven't done since I bought my DDR pad from like a decade and change ago.
Oh boy, that's what I wanted.
Brought it out, messed with it once, and then never did it again. And then I was like, no, I don't stand up to play games. I just gotta stand up at work all the goddamn time. I can't add to it.
Just when I wanted to do in my video games chores.
Work is me standing up and walking and stomping my feet and walking around and stupid shit. I'm like, no, I don't need that. That's probably why I'm in such bad shape now. My one toe is all fucked up. But yeah, that's all I could think of as far as the gaming is before I can cut into the shitstorm that was Monday Night Raw. Overall, in general, really, because usually if Raw is really bad, like SmackDown, I'll be like even now it's like I'm barely covering like SmackDown. Even before, when it's just like, okay, go, it's taped in, I can just breeze through it or whatever. But what was SmackDown? 3 paragraphs for SmackDown. Really, it's just like.
Yeah,
like NXT has more than SmackDown, and that's sad for SmackDown, rather. NXT is, even that's kind of like predictable because it feels like sometimes episodes, because they'll sometimes bring out like it's this guy versus this guy. I don't know if it's on the roster or I haven't heard much from before. I guess just being brought in. It's developmental, so so I'm fine with it. But yeah, I get why they do that. It's developmental, and
Is it technically developmental anymore? Because developmental would be considered the Performance Center.
I guess they're right on that. Maybe like Performance Center and then like a smaller stage or something like that. NXT's like the live crowd or something like that. Experimentation with that is kind of, it's like the step 2 now, I guess. And Ross,
I'm gonna do something about the birds.
And Ross started out really, really strongly too, man. I was actually hyped for this. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be good because it opens with, I guess, new theme music for the League of Nations, which we didn't get to hear all that much because they were already in the ring. I guess we got to speed along 3 hours, Sheamus still gloating about 5:15 and how America just can't cut it anymore. And that there is no group of 4 guys that can stand up to the likes of us. The Wyatts, I guess, come to test that theory, and man, the crowd was electric for this one. I was like, oh, this could be interesting.
The League of Nations versus the Wyatts?
Yeah.
How awesome would that be?
They're like, oh, pardon us for interruption, but all of this is, we run this shit now. This is our world. We'll just allow you to breathe in it. You talk of dominance, but we ain't out here to talk. We're here for the chaos. It looks like we're about to get a 4-on-4 already, and then the Dudleys and Tommy Dreamer, not done with them. Devon with the Baby's Kids pull, saying, when you're extreme, you don't die, you multiply. And out comes the Man-Beast Rhino.
who I was surprised to see because someone's still in NXT.
He was there for a while. We haven't seen him in not since Corbin broke away.
Oh, that's true.
So it was good to see him out here for a little bit. And then from the crowd out comes Reigns and his posse. And so we're back from break, and we got this huge four-man team elimination match. League of Nations versus EC Dub versus Wyatt's versus the Lunatic Samoans, I think I referred to them as. It's like Dean Ambrose, and then the rest of them are Samoans. Like, Dean's the odd man out. So I'm like, the Wild Samoans? No, Lunatic Samoans. That's what I came off with just off the top of my head.
But Dean Ambrose isn't Samoan.
Well, he's the lunatic part. The lunatic fringe. That's why.
Also, they've already determined that they're being called the family.
Yeah, which is lame.
It's
I mean,
really
mine's like I said, I just came up with it like not even like 5 seconds. I didn't even give myself 5 seconds to come up with that. I'm like, Wild Samoans, lunatic fringe, lunatic Samoans. To put 2 and 2 together. Rhino sporting that loner AJ Styles beard. I thought that was really. I didn't ever see him with a beard. That. Looks cool though. Looks good on him.
Yeah. It shows experience, if you will.
Huge superplex from Strowman using the Usos. Rusev almost on top of a waiting Dreamer. Like Dreamer almost gets like, like, oh no! It's like that scene from Austin Powers. Nah! Rowan, the legal man for the Wyatts, he tries to spin kick Tommy Dreamer. Dreamer Driver, as Cole called it, looked more like a DDT in nature, which I think Cole even referred to after the commercial break. So, I guess I called him on that, and he was like, "Yeah." So yeah, Rowan is pinned, so the Wyatts as a whole are eliminated from this match. Shit gets cray, and everybody clears everybody out. Stare down from Rhino and Roman Reigns for a little bit, just like stare down. Which, clearly missing the opportunity for the stare down between a Rhino in the WWE and a Rhino that's going to play one in the movies. Huh?
Have you seen the trailer for that, by the way?
Oh, I haven't seen it yet. Someone showed me, like, over there pictures of CG Bebop.
It's actually pretty good. It looks pretty good.
It looks decent.
It looks convoluted, though. Like, I looked at the trailer, I can't figure out who the hell is the main bad guy. There's an alien invasion, there's Shredder, there's Rocksteady Bebop. Yeah, but, like, an alien invasion?
Krang, probably, or Dimension X or whatever. That's how this goes, I would assume. Hopefully they give him that if they're going to do the Rocksteady Bebop thing, they guess they're going to bring in Krang and do, like, the robot body.
Baxter Stockman is there.
Yeah? Is he black, or did they use the other one?
He's black.
Yeah.
No, he's black.
Okay. They kept with that. That's the original comic book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because canonly, he's black. He's not like this nerdy Chucky Finster from the TV show.
Yeah. That was just a one-shot thing. Well, I mean, that fly kind of got cool, though. It's been a while since I've seen that. Cool. I think it's on my... I think it's on Whatchacallit. I can start watching those at some point.
But we digress.
Anyway, so yeah, the Wyatts are eliminated. The stare down from Rhino and Roman until the league jumps both of them from behind and pretty much puts an end to that. Dudley's about to what up? Sheamus from behind. Del Rio, like both of them like kicks on the apron. He's like, shoo, bam, shoo, bam. It's instant transmission and kicks over here. Cook is a whip, Del Rio, man. He just hasn't lost a step. And it shows. Bro kick on a dazed Bubba eliminates the ECW. Regrouping gives us Rusev versus Ambrose to start. Rusev and an Uso after the break. Roman gets the hot tag and cleans house alongside Ambrose. Sheamus gets him down, starts to mock Roman, and again gets speared to bejesus and back for his troubles, and the faces win. So I'm like, all right, this was a pretty good start.
Oh my goodness!
But immediately I'm brought to like, okay, you have this new faction called. You got the new heel faction. They need to look strong. They need to look dominant, and they lose They couldn't beat Roman 4-on-1. They had like a man advantage on here with other tombs, and Roman still managed to win. That's the problem when you make Roman look strong. Everybody else around him starts to look weak and pathetic. And that's bad for your new debuting heel faction, I think like 2 weeks ago. I don't think they've won like a really big, high-profile match since.
Even singly, I can't even...
Yeah.
Except for Rusev and Alberto.
Yeah. Stardust talking about comics, I guess. He's talking about like great American heroes like Jack Swagger, saying he doesn't rest until the universe will be eclipsed. And he's once again interrupted by Titus O'Neil. How does it keep finding him? I said it on Twitter. He was a fucking dimension hopper. That's what I've narrowed it down to. I hope they bring this up again, and he does this and ends up like in the Wyatt crawl space, and it's like he looks at 4 of these guys. He's like, shit. And they just beat his ass. I guess he's doing this because there was a thing I saw on a website. Darren Young's kind of in bad shape. He's been hospitalized for quite a bit.
That's the deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's been a concern on that part.
So now that he's gone, give Titus some screen time.
Welcome back, Intercontinental Champion Kevin Owens. Speaking of who's been sick and out for a while, what you told me. He takes on Dolph Ziggler as Prince Purdy watches from his micro VIP lounge. I'm just saying MVP's was way bigger. Then again, it was like a Piper's Pit kind of thing. I'm just saying, get you some more throw pillows. Well, I guess the VIP lounge is just a 2
with
of you,
his
so you
face
don't
on
need
it.
that much. Yeah, just
throw pillows with his face on it.
Yeah. He's doing the fucking duck face, the thing, and he's like, I would buy it. That would be good on WWEshop.com, actually.
Didn't Matt Stryker have like his...
Like you're selling fucking ugly sweaters on WWEshop.com on people's things? Like, you buying us fucking well. Dude, like, come on. You can do better than that. Oh my god.
Speaking of WWEshop.com. What, was I too loud?
Oh, no. What was I saying?
No, speaking of WWEshop.com, the horns, unicorn horns, sold out within 5 hours.
Oh, man, yeah. Oh, someone tweeted that of, like, their backstage, and they're doing, I guess it's, like, the people backstage watching the show from, like, the gorilla position, and you see, like, Vince McMahon sitting back there with a unicorn, wearing the unicorn horn.
Which is interesting because, like, when they first debuted for, like, the first good month, like a month or two, a lot of people hated them. They all thought they were just going to be Nation 2.0. And now, a year later, they're the hypest thing on WWE right now.
They're easily the best part of the show. And they were again this one, other than the main event. Not the main event, the opening match. Which probably should have been kind of the main event. They should have, like, maybe garnered this up, but I guess because of the diluted roster, they had to, like, well, because a lot of them had to work 2 matches in a row. Like, a lot of them. I think almost everybody in there worked, like, just about, give or take. Mm-hmm. Like, anybody you could squeeze in for that next. But again, because the roster's depleted because people are injured, but.
Oh, big
so
time,
it's a really, really, really bad time for them. I mean, I get that, but they can do a lot better. Where was I? Yeah, Kevin Owens versus Ziggler. Owens nearly being bested and just sent Ziggler super hard in that turnbuckle. Maybe separate. This was a good match too, by the way. This was good.
Yeah.
This was really good. Like, the first hour was like, oh man, this is awesome. Maybe separating the shoulder and still making it back before he gets counted out. Given his life for this match. Both of them. Like, holy shit. Decapitated nearly with a clothesline to the break. Ziggler tries to rally back and tries to get that feeling back in his arm. He's like, oh man. Owens comes out to run his mouth and gets 180, just vicious snap DDT on Owens. Just bam. Rolls him back in the ring, gets a near fall. Owens misses the rolling senton, gets Billy Gunned, trading super kicks, and Owens still kicks out. Owens desperately has to get that pop-up powerbomb and wins, and immediately out comes Ambrose with popcorn and soda in hand, and then just throws it in Owens' faces. Owens like, what the fuck are you doing out here? It's like, what are you doing out here? I don't want your damn popcorn. Like, aw, he would have probably shared with you. Well, I guess he technically did.
How asshole-ish was Dean Ambrose to do that?
He's just coming out. He's like, oh, you don't want my popcorn? You take my popcorn.
And my Coke too.
And my Coke too.
Actually, we're not sponsored by Coke. Actually, you are sponsored by Coke.
You are, yeah, they are. Didn't they do that for the pay-per-view? Is it like Toys R Us and Coca-Cola?
They are now sponsored by Coke. They weren't before, but now they are.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
So
now that you mention it, because it's like Toys R Us and Coke.
Those are the top.
Man. Yeah. Well, I guess you're not gonna be hurting for money for a while, even though your ratings are tanking. Because you got like Toys R Us, Coke, like big mega conglomerates like that. Wyatt's looking to the side of the ECW alumni. Strowman says his dream is to be Tommy Dreamer's nightmare. Dreamer's nightmare. Bray says to show him what it means to be extreme. Sasha. She and Naomi of Team Bad versus the remainder of the Bellas. Miz Production's still looking to turn Neville from, quote, elf on the shelf to the next Daniel Bryan and brings in...
I did not...
USA Network star, quote unquote,
quote unquote,
Donnie Deutsch. He's got that new show you see commercials on. It's like it's a talk show or something like that.
I've seen it. It's not that good. The jokes are kind of edgy and like I'm not sure like how you're gonna put this on TV, but. It's not for me.
Wasn't like Jiminy Glick did something like that for Comedy Central, like a fake talk show host or something like that? That was like a comedy. Jiminy Glick.
Honestly, man, there have been so many Comedy Central shows that got canceled within this year alone.
I remember the best one for me was because it was like late '90s. This was during like this height of The Simpsons popularity on Fox, but it just made me think of The Critic, John Lovitz. That was pretty good.
Was this that where John Levick was like the little cartoon guy?
Yeah, The Critic.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that.
Just when you think of that, I'm like, it's been done. I'm just gonna go over my DVD of The Critic now. Just be like, I lied a little, but like 'em.
Oh, I wanna be an Oscar Mayer wiener. He could really sing that song, though. But we digress.
Unity.
Oh yeah, I'm glad they're pushing that.
Instead of legit boss, it's like legit Unity. Alicia Fox showing dominance. This cannot stand. Tamina, show what time it is. Rear view after the hot tag on Breeze and wins the match, and Duda comes out and they want to celebrate with Doom Bad now. And if you've been, because I've been watching all their antics going on YouTube, some really good stuff on there. So and Sasha was like, so they're throwing hands like they're about to fight the Dude. Like, what do you want? What do you want? You want to go? You want to go? And it's like, no. What do you do? I was like, whoa, no, we come at a peace offering. Like, I'm like, you had a Thanksgiving dinner with them. Why are you like wanting to throw hands? I'm like, maybe because I guess you thought no one would watch that SmackDown, so. So I guess you can.
To be honest,
I guess you can get away with that.
I zoomed out of SmackDown while watching it. To be honest,
same. Like I said, I only got like 3 paragraphs of it, but then they got unicorn horns. So the I call them Team Bad. I was going to say New Day, but I guess they're the Bad Day now. And again, it made me think of Jackie Chan Adventures. Bad day. No, Sasha, no. Stop. I implore you. Please, think of the What was I talking about again? Oh, New Day says they're being generous. They donated the League of Nations as a tax write-off. Given names for Kanye's new boy, saying Booty West has a certain ring to it. What was it? Saint, by the way, was what they... I found this out like a day later. Saint West. Oh.
Is that what they decided?
That's his name, yeah. So Northwest and Saint West. Clearly missing the opportunity to say Southwest. But that's an airline. That's a tension breaker. All right.
So on his birthday, is it technically a saint day?
Would think so.
So, pray to Saint West for all the West Coast troubles.
New Day saying they're generous, but as generous as we are, we don't believe title opportunity should be given willy-nilly. We could lose our titles without being pinned, but they will stay around our smooth bellies. I mean, like, Freight Train gonna join the New Day? Fingers crossed for that.
If anything, he was their trainer. Actually, he trained all of them.
He did?
I think.
That would be awesome. Our smooth bellies and our... he called it like waists, but it was like plurals. He was like waists.
Yeah, I noticed that, and that kind of bugged me.
This. You have a speech impediment, Kofi?
Well, he was Jamaican.
You just break out Jamaican all of a sudden?
Boom, boom, boom. Let me get a taste of that burger. It's good.
It's good. Uso's on commentary till Woods gets in their face with the trombone, so... Yeah, rightfully so, they stomp his ass. Like, motherfucker. Like, they're like right in their face at that. And Uso's looking at him like, beat this guy's ass. Come on. They're not going to let that go. So... The Dragons, the New Day's opponents, win off of a roll-up. Roman backstage interview reacting to what Sheamus said. I forgot to cover this earlier tonight. Sheamus was going to teach Roman a lesson later tonight, and Roman's like, you can teach me all the beard-brooding hawk care services he wants, secrets he wants. TLC, I teach Sheamus the lesson of being a former WWE champion. Oh. Charlotte.
So you already know that lesson, don't you, Reigns? Twice. Actually, no, only once, because he didn't win at WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's right. Charlotte talking up her old man, healing it up with matching Rolexes. I'm like, okay, this is good. This was alright. This was alright, too, because Charlotte putting Miz in his place was enjoyable for personal reasons.
Surprisingly. Because this is actually the best Miz TV in I've ever seen.
This was watchable. And Charlotte's actually, like... Again, I was a little skeptical mostly because now it's like heels on heels kind of thing. And
that's what I don't like about this. Like,
yeah.
Why didn't you save this until after the pay-per-view? Why are you bringing it up now? Because now I have no idea who to root for.
And she's facing Paige and not... Well, I guess because she beat Becky Lynch. Mm-hmm. And I guess they're still besties or whatever. They're still like... they're going to hold on to that for a while.
The seed of doubt has been planted.
Yes, that's what this is. It'll be the next pay-per-view down the line. Or a triple threat, the sumbitch or something like that.
That'd be nice. I wouldn't lie. That would be nice.
I'm saying, Charlotte's like, Miz, you should be like Tyra Banks and quit her own show. Ric Flair, proud and ready to be in Charlotte's corner Sunday when she faces Paige again. Miz brings up the fact that people are referring to Charlotte as ruthless and egotistical. And Charlotte's like, why? Because I'm doing whatever it takes to be the best? Like, my father taught me? Because my last name's Flair, for Christ's sake. Like, how would I not be ruthless and egotistical? It's in my fucking DNA. Look at my father is. Woo!
We both can't do figure fours left.
That's the stupidest question you've ever asked, Miz. Like, do you not know? He's like, what? Or is it because I'm not a man? You be commending me for my ambition? And she looks over Miz and it's like, oh, what? You got nothing? I feel sorry for your wife. I was like, oh.
Damn.
She got him, yeah. So, Heel Charlotte, if there's more of this, I'm okay with.
Yes.
Because she was on fire tonight. Like, even Paige had to, like, step up her heel game on this one. I was like, wow.
I didn't care for the good goody two-shoes Charlotte to begin with. Like a face Charlotte.
It could have been done better.
Yeah.
But as a heel, as, like, an actual flair, this works. I'm like, okay, she's playing to her strengths now.
But at the same time, it's kind of living in your father's shadow in a way. It's like it's hard to break. It's hard to break away and be your own thing when you like look at Curtis Axel.
It might give it time because Orton for a while was like with his dad Cowboy Bob and started. So it could be a step in the right direction, or it could be. So.
Don't worry, Charlotte. Just a few more years and you'll be on your own.
At last, you're on your own. Charlotte!
Oh my.
But yeah, she lets Miz has it. Miz like, all right, I'm gonna let that, just lets it go and says, you changed after what Paige had to say to her in the last pay-per-view match, asking what Charlotte has to say in return, trying to stir the soup. Charlotte's like, I'm gonna do my talking Sunday, and Rick's like, don't pay him no mind, you know. Miz again tries to stir the pot, says mentioning that Paige said Charlotte wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for her old man, and Charlotte finally goes off and says, the only thing lower than you is that gothic piece of trash. I wish she was here right now, because I'd tell her she'd never have to worry about being Divas champ ever again. And Miz is like, oh really? Funny you mentioned that. Go right now.
He's like, it just so happens.
Interesting. It would be a shame if the person you mentioned all of a sudden was like, oh, she's here. Thank you, Jerry.
Mike. That really was a Jerry Springer move.
Yeah, it was. It's like, oh, she's here now.
And no one loves the soup more than him.
Rick has Charlotte back her down, saying, "Yeah, we're flares and we're champions. We don't need to do this right now." And so Paige responds by slap to the face of the Rick, and Flair's usually like cool, calm, collected, like he's playing like kind of the good cop right here for Charlotte. And then like he gets down there, he takes the slap to the face, and all of a sudden he's like, "Get her!" Like he's just screaming at Charlotte, like, "Fucking get her!" And Paige just leaves, I guess, having like successfully out-healed the heel. I guess this was.
I'm still
like again. I'm on the fence about it, but it was enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess as long as you have that, but long term, I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, hit my mic. Sorry.
The thing is about this is just I don't know who to root for, and like. But at the same time, I'm happy about it because it is always great to see a heel versus heel match. Because they'll both be doing the tactics of a heel.
They're both going to be out wrestling one another.
Mm-hmm. So I'm actually kind of looking forward to this, but at the same time, I would have liked it to happen after the pay-per-view because now I'm just confused midway. Because
I liked their last match, even though a lot of people weren't really on board with it. It was like it was an okay match.
It went on longer than the World Heavyweight title match.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I guess they wanted to do the Revolution thing, and then the people weren't having it. But then again, that was like the whole. There was still like heightened security and everything. And shit was kind of tense.
Mm-hmm.
Rematch from last week: Rusev versus Scumbag. That's what happened to the bum last week. Lana's like, if you have love in your heart, you also have forgiveness. And what happened with me because of Ryback was an accident. I forgive you.
I love the storyline because last week I had no idea what to make of it, but now this week happened. Ryback is the accidental woman beater. He doesn't want to hurt anyone, but he's just so clumsy.
It's that world made of cardboard speech from Superman by the end of Justice League Unlimited. Like he doesn't know how to keep his power in check. Oh, great commercial, by the way. I don't call it the commercials, but
the SmackDown commercial?
Yeah, with the Wyatts.
Oh my god, this was
This
so
was
awesome.
this was amazing. It's just like the Wyatt's out in the real world, just having to deal with like corporate bullshit. He's like, it's like, are they expecting it? I'm like, are you sure? And Wyatt's like losing his fucking patience with her, but he's trying to keep like a good sense of humor about it and smile on his face. He's like, yes, Thursday. Are you sure here on Thursdays? He's just in disbelief. This girl is that fucking vacuous. He's on the show. He says on Thursday, like they're not moving to a new network entirely. It just now both shows are going to be on the USA Network. So as funny as it was, I was like, this doesn't make any sense now if I just sit down and think about it. And I'm assuming those behind the pitch for this commercial assume their audience aren't the type of people to sit down and think about it, which again brings me back to why your ratings are kind of shit. Like, once again, it was entertaining, but again, long term and sit down and think about it. It's like, all right. I'll take this over what usually does happen in other means. Like, if it was the drizzling shits, it'd be one thing, but, we got some.
There we go.
Oh, hey. Okay.
The audio cut out.
Oh, that's weird. Hope that didn't do it in my recording at all.
But
yeah, this is
at the end of the commercial. At the end of the commercial, all the other wrestlers come out, and it's just like, as a wrestling fan, I know who all those guys are. But as a non-wrestling fan, seeing that commercial is like, what the hell is wrestling nowadays? there was Stardust. There was
Sasha.
Sasha is like, but Stardust the most. I was like, what the hell is that? Oh, that's Stardust. Who the hell is Stardust? It's like, oh, he's a comic book wrestler. We don't know, to be honest.
We're not sure. I doubt even he's sure at this point. Near the end of the Rusev-Ryback match, Rusev, he starts to make a run for it, so Ryback chases him down outside, and Lana's like, ah! And I'm like, oh, what happened? And I'm like, she got, like, close to him, and she, like, inadvertently knocked her down. She's like, oh, my leg! She twists her leg from, apparently, and Rusev from behind immediately jumps on and puts Ryback in the accolade as Lana laughs it off, and she's okay, it's the Russian Gams healed pretty quickly. The power of the Russian Gams.
Yeah, I have to rejoin and I have to leave and rejoin in order to get this thing working.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what's up with it. Anyway.
That's weird. Anyway, back from break, Jack Swagger apparently already has Stardust in an ankle lock. Okay. Till Del Rio comes out and distracts him. So the match continues until Swagger gets the lock on Stardust, and this time Stardust taps. So I'm like, this was weird.
But he didn't tap in his dimension, so it doesn't count.
He didn't tap in his dimension.
From the fifth dimension is like, you mean the fifth? I thought the fifth element? But no.
Cody Rhodes multi-pass.
Many faces of Cody. This is the dimension where Cody Rhodes was actually a supervillain.
You know, it's a multi-pass, baby. If you will. I am an FBI agent, baby. I can't think of they remade Point Break. How do you do that? No, that's
also
that's such
the
a
game
great
I
movie.
frequent did a crossover with Point Break, and they had Point Break DLC.
Oh my god!
And Point Break microtransactions.
Oh no.
But it looks decent. I mean, it's never going to have the same, like,
not even close.
Backstab. Like with Keanu, when Keanu,
that movie is so beautifully camp. You're not going to recapture good shit like that.
They are literally in the original Point Break, they are literally the worst bank robbing crew ever.
Yes.
Like an NRA guy and a security guy manages to take one of your guys out and leave you wounded. But
I feel the
we digress.
I feel the need to watch that movie again at some point. Let's see if I can find it. I am an FBI agent. You gotta understand, Bodie, they will hunt you down to the end of the earth. Fucking love Dean Ambrose. Just come up on comment. I guess they couldn't do it now because he passed away, unfortunately. But I just remember seeing that again the first time I seen it. Yeah, Dean Ambrose is doing like a Dusty impression. That's where I'm coming. That's where that's coming from. He's like, it's like Point Break with Dean Ambrose is voicing because he also did Terry Funk as like, we're not gonna see land, you stupid son of a bitch. I'm an FBI agent, David. You gotta understand, 10 dead presidents, it's not a game anymore. People are dead, people are dying. It's the goofiest, funniest shit.
That's correct.
Oh, man, what was, but yeah, Del Rio distracts it, and it's like, proves to be nothing. So Del Rio from behind, like, he's, cause Swagger's John with, Zeb Coulter again, hater! And Del Rio just BAM waffles him from behind with a chair, like, oh shit. And this was weird too. Like Titus on commentary, he's like, yo, Del Rio, watch out! And he turns in time to see. I
noticed this. Like, Titus, shut the fuck up, you're a face.
Yeah, he turns in time to see Stardust trying to attack Del Rio, and Rio's ready for him. He's like, oh well, thank you, Titus. I guess he's not a hater. A little weird, but all right.
Oh, this could have to do with the fact that the Titus and Stardust feud.
Oh, right. Yeah, that makes sense now. Like, Titus joining Mex America? Oh.
We don't allow... Oh, wait, that's really... Never mind.
Zeb Coulter's not true. Remember when Rosie O'Donnell was the crazy one? Fast forward a few years later. Whoop.
Also, I can't take Zeb seriously with that scooter.
Oh, my God, he was hilarious this time.
Jack Swagger's just like, yeah, what are you doing? What happened to We the People? And he just like looks away, just like...
Zeb's just like, well, bye. He turns to but yeah, Del Rio's looking to finish off Swagger on the floor, the only way I can describe it is he got an extra life in a fighting game when he's coming back from being killed, because he's just like right up. Like it's like Streets of Rage 3 where he falls down and then the next bar comes in and you just like, he gets back up. That's what this was. Like, he's just like, and he's got a chair now. I was like, oh shit! So we get like, oh man, we're gonna get like Misawa awesome chair clashes, because they're having a chair match. I'm like, holy shit! And so, but yeah, it's like one chair clash and Swagger wins out, and Del Rio's like, my hands, and Del Rio's like running away. And
actually, it is confirmed that TLC it will be a chairs match.
Yes,
between Del Rio.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, that's why that came up. But yeah, Swagger.
No stairs match announced.
Hater. Oh,
Del Rio got hot.
Oh, hey, we got. Oh, wow, we got more than one person today. Hey, Lyser and Dracus, welcome. It's cute. Welcome. Anyway, we're Russian games.
Backstage with Del Rio.
Well, before that, there's the Rosebud. I guess we're still going to. I almost said Rosebuds.
AKA, it's literally a ripoff of the Marker Mark.
Oh my God, yes. He heard, he's like, I wanted to see him do it like, Martin Bellamy, or what is, I guess that's his real name. Like, they won't know who that is, they'll say Little Karibo. Martin.
Then we have like a match at WrestleMania between Adam Rose and Mark.
The Rose Bush versus Karibo's Hairy Balls.
It is a bush, after all.
I summoned my battle ox. Oh my God, it's so adorable. No, it's not. It's a vicious monster. Kawaii des. Stop fucking petting it!
Then the bunny comes out to interfere. Like, who is the bunny gonna side with?
Yeah.
Oh my God. He still hasn't made his return though yet. It's weird.
He was in a match with on NXT last week. Losing that to James Storm.
He was in NXT.
Yeah, he was last week NXT. He lost to James Storm.
Oh, Adam Rose. I thought you
Adam
said
Rose.
the bunny foot.
Oh, the bunny.
The bunny.
Oh.
I thought you said the bunny foot.
Yeah, we
Storm.
haven't seen the bunny in forever. Mentioned he's gonna
They
get that
said
Donnie.
they're bringing him back though.
He's gonna get that Donnie Darko thing going on now, apparently.
Yeah, they haven't made a debut for it. It's just weird.
But yeah, the Rosebush back to wondering why Miz wants to mentor Neville. Miz wants to use his, quote, Hollywood clout, unquote, to get Neville to be Dumbo, who, by the way, is a shoo-in. Easy joke. Speaking of animals, Rhino is back, and fear not, Tommy Dreamer's tan is not him turning into an Oompa Loompa. While getting ready for his match, he thought he had spray tan and ended up with Becky Lynch's hair dye. Alright, that's a little funny. But yeah, then we get to Del Rio just angry at Zeb, blaming him for falling down and having the people laugh at him. It's like, nobody laughs at Del Rio.
Even though
the honeymoon's over. He's done with Zeb. So Del Rio's the hater. Hater! And Zeb tells, he's telling him to calm down. And he's like, hey man, if it weren't for me, I was the guy that helped you get the U.S. title. And I was the guy with John Cena was down, right place, right time. And he's like, you're gonna tell me what to do? Like, he's incensed. He's like, I'm gonna use this chair on you to boot on before I use it to boot on Swagger this Sunday. And kind of makes this feud a little more pointless and dumb now. Or I guess maybe I'll keep an eye on Zeb. Like, whose side is he on?
We knew from the get-go that Del Rio Zeb culture wasn't going to last forever. W even said it's not long-term. But I did not.
I wasn't sure if they meant Del Rio or Zeb. Or maybe they'll bring Zeb to, writing staff, because he was, a head writer for a while in TNA. So he might go back to that.
Is that why all the racist things happen in TNA? But yeah, I knew it wasn't going to last long, but a month only? Jeez.
Well,
they really wanted to get this done.
Well, Del Rio's in the league now. I guess they're going to have him focus on that more. So I'm like, okay. Who he was out with for all his... Who he was in for all his matches anyway. But speaking of pointlessness, Tommy Dreamer wrestling twice on Raw. What?
Yeah. They're really lacking talent.
To have a guy is working for another company or something like that? Or is his own company or something like that? He's got his own merch. I did see the Dusty Pants. He's got they're out in full display, the polka dots.
House of Hardcore is his own independent company.
Yeah, that's what it was, HOH.
Which is really weird, because I did not think WWE would let him wear it.
Unless they think nothing of it. Probably what it is.
Well,
because it's like, it's ECW light, and it's like, Which I don't think you're going to get that kind of audience. You can't do half the shit you can get away with back then now.
No way.
In any case. Not with because I keep seeing trailers for the new coming Christmas, that movie Concussion. That's a big thing now, because there was a whole thing where the NFL was trying to keep that under wraps and whatever. That alone just changes things.
Oh my god, did Discord...
So yeah, he just jobs to Roman completely. Main event match for the Raw before the pay-per-view. Roman out early. Wait, no. The Dreamer thing was the main event. I'm like, huh. And he jobs to Strowman.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wow.
And he did squeeze the life out of him.
Yeah. I'm like, what was your plan? Like I said last week, you're having a wrestling match with a guy? Fuck that noise. Bring out the kendo sticks and go to work. He'll probably snatch them from you, but at least you might have more of a fighting chance if you wrestled the guy. Roman out early, ready for Sheamus. This lasted a little bit longer than it should have.
30 minutes, I believe.
Yeah, I guess they was like, oh well. Strowman just drops Dreamer and nothing, so I'm like, all right, we extend this now. The ring already decorated with tables, ladders, and chairs. Oh my! So I'm like, oh,
where are the
did Roman do that? Did he instant transmission punch all this way? Roman goes to the ladder right in the middle of the ring, says, this ladder is like my first day on the job. The Shield's first big match was a TLC.
It's at this moment I have to stop Roman from saying anything else because Roman, Dean Ambrose moved on, Seth Rollins moved on. You need to move on.
He's like, hey, remember the Shield? Along my climb, I've lost friends and made a lot of enemies. I'm like,
yeah.
Some of them not even in the company.
Most of them not even in the company.
Most of them not. Yeah, that's what to say. But I kept climbing and I reached the promised land. I did have that championship, until Sheamus bro kicked me twice and took it. So I'm out here with TLC ready for my lesson. And Sheamus comes out and says, that fort of yours, fella. So I guess he did build that. You're trying to intimidate me? Sequels are in these days, so expect TLC to end the same way like Survivor Series did. Me standing over you, still the champion. You and your hands and knees wondering what went wrong. And Roman egging Sheamus on like, where's your lesson, man? Come on down. I thought the Irish loved to fight.
Wrong Irish person.
Oh, for what a time it would have been for him to come out. He gets that Paul Heyman kind of mentor figure, kind of, because Finlay trained a whole lot of people.
My name is Finlay, and I love to fight.
I thought the Irish had potatoes. Sounds like you're smuggling tater tots. I'm like, and he's laughing at his own joke. I'm like, oh no.
And Sheamus just
mercifully the crowd actually latched onto this, but I was thinking this whole time it sounds remarkably kind of similar to and maybe it's just me for being a huge fan of this particular TV program. I mean, I have all the DVDs. I would watch it almost religiously every time it came on. But it's that one episode where they're talking about it's a 70s shows thing. They're Kelso's running around and I think they're going over you don't see it, but it's the whole thing where he's Kelso slides on the cafeteria, and so he's his pants are covered in mashed potatoes, so we kept calling him Tater Nuts. That's what this reminded me of. I'm like, but again, mercifully the crowd was chanting this at Sheamus. I just made me immediately default to Tater Nuts. Sheamus incensed by this and runs down, but no, it's a feint. And Sheamus is he's still talking him down, saying what he's going to do at the pay-per-view. And Roman's like, well, come on down and do it then. Sheamus is I come down there, you're going to hit me with all them weapons in there. So you get rid of that. You get rid of that chair, fella. And he's like, all right, I'll get rid of the chair, get rid of the table. Push that away. He does so and get rid of the ladder. And he throws the ladder at Sheamus. I'm
what a cunt
holy shit
was that? What a cunt move!
Wow. I guess you don't want that title for Sunday. Holy shit. What the fuck was that? Oh, it was Sheamus. I was like...
And then Roman makes fun of him for flinching.
Yeah.
It's
Dick.
Yeah, I'm going to flinch.
I was like, you big old flincher. It's like, fuck you threw a fucking ladder at me. I'd be like, bitch, what the fuck? I'd have been incensed. I was like, you threw a fucking ladder at me. And Roman's like, just fucking get in here. Smiles smugly at the whole time. It's like,
and he's calling him a little.
No wonder people hate you. You're an ass. I'm gonna bro kick you now just for the fuck of it. And I think that's why he got in. He's like, fuck this. Because because Sheamus finally had enough. I'm like, yeah, all right. That makes sense. The whole fighting thing. Or oh man, you know fucking this guy. Really? I'm like, all right, now shit's on.
I am not freaking Superman. I'm not Superman. I can't take a ladder to the face.
Goddamn, man. You're gonna throw me in with this guy? But they throwing each other into barricades. Sheamus sends Roman into a ladder. They fight to the outside, up the ramp. Chair on Roman, chair on Sheamus, and then they fight all the way back to where they practically started, which is just outside where the announce table was. Sheamus tries to powerbomb Roman through it. Roman fights out Superman punch. About to spear Sheamus, and Sheamus just phew, sidesteps him so he flies over the announce table, and Sheamus is oh, that's over. And then rising from his grave for he stills that for a couple seconds because again Roman looking strong, he just good spot. Like Sheamus just spears him right through a table. It's like set on like a 45-degree angle from like the lip of the ring to the floor. So he's like collapsed right through that shit. And that's how Raw ends. I'm like, holy shit! You throw a fucking ladder at me. Who's the heel again?
Exactly.
Because Sheamus, like, I just took an opportunity. I was like, oh, because he's working for the Authority. All of a sudden, I'm healed now. I'm like, I took an opportunity. Like, I saw an opportunity. I took it. Roman punched him in the face for trying to congratulate the guy. And it's like, again, who's the... Like Stone Cold bullshit, basically. It's like mentality. Like, I guess it was a different time back then.
Well, yeah, because like.
Then again, his boss was like kind of insufferable back then.
Yeah. Like as much as like.
It wasn't like the Daniel Bryan thing where they were like actively didn't want him to be champion. Like there's the backstage thing where like Roman's like, yeah, Vince is pushing the guy. Like we know that. Like especially with all the social media and everything. Like.
Ugh.
Kayfabe is like near to non-existent at this point.
Mm-hmm.
For better or worse. More often than not, it's worse.
Speaking of which, Cena got married.
They did?
Yeah, they did it this weekend. They did it this week.
Oh, it finally happened.
I know, he finally popped the question. Well, not popped the question, but... Or at least I think that's what I'm reading, right? Either that or he just proposed.
Sealed the deal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Dracus brought it up. Titus wants Cody Rhodes back. That's what the whole thing was about. But he's just dicking around in his dimension and shit. It's just like, what? Oh. Is that his means of getting in? Like he aura is in like wormholes and shit, and he just jumps in.
Oh my goodness.
NXT.
It's the power of his stand. His stand is to get in.
Damn it. NXT is kicking off with Enzo and Big Cass they're back. Not much song and dance. They're a little more all business. They don't do the my name, that whole thing. They're in there against the team of Corey Hollis and John Skyler. After the match, Enzo says, that's how you put food on the table. Dash and Dawson, I'll be damned if you interfere with feeding my family. Big Cass, that's my day one A1. Like, oh, this is awesome.
So he's a steak sauce?
He's putting food on that table and you jeopardize my steak sauce. Chie Satonaka, my best girl.
Chie.
My name is Enzo Achie.
Enzo Narukami.
Enzo Narukami. I'm a bona fide G and a certified man whore, and you can't teach that. This right here, Ryutaru Dojima. He's 7 feet tall. And right here, Nanako, and she's ugu as hell. No fighting. Bada boom, realist family. Bada boodaba, realist hood and Inaba, or some shit. You jeopardized our future. We can walk it like we talk it blindfolded because we know where we're going. Cass says you tried to take away all we've worked for. Take over. We will get retribution. We will leave you laying and we will walk out NXT Tag Champs. How you doing? Like the most intense he's ever. Like fucking Roydie Magoo test levels of like intensity. He's like, how you doing? He's getting like Heidenreich shit on me. Damn.
Mm-hmm. Like
he's 7 feet
which
tall.
is interesting because like he's always been like the small guy too, and like now that he's getting actually buff now.
Emma wondering why Asuka's had the red carpet rolled out for her when Emma and Dana never got any of that. Emma says, now she's claiming credit for the paving the revolution thing before anyone ever even heard of Bayley or Charlotte, and says, "Evolution is the solution. Evolution is a mystery." Evolution. They scout Asuka's match against Diana Perazzo. Hope I'm saying that right. They come out to distract Asuka, who just spin kicks Diana so hard she wins by knockout.
Yeah.
The last time a fucking Divas match, or a women's match in general in WWE, ended with a fucking KO. Like, okay, like, oh, Emma, you gonna die. Like, it's that scene of, like, just bring up the Vine. I want to see, like, that, like, they do, like, Vine shit for stuff, and I just want to cut to, like, the scene from one of the weigh-ins from, like, Scary Movie 1. She's like, run, bitch, run! She gonna kill you! You gonna die!
Next week at TakeOver, she gets literally kicked in half.
Love the Freddy Krueger shit going on between Alexa and the Major Brothers, Blake and Murphy.
Yeah,
this looks good. And she's like, her hand, she's got like the claw and it's just like that, but it's like a endoskeleton kind of shit going on. It looks really cool. Love it.
It's really
this looks good.
It's really the only thing good about her character.
Alexa pointing blame at Blake and Murphy, saying, you embarrassed me after we lost to the Hype Brothers and Bayley, and they're going to get an opportunity to get that win back. Both teams are color-coded, so who's going to win? Like, the Hype Bros are color-coded, too. They're like golden purple or something like that.
But at the same time, you embarrassed us, Alexa, for losing to Bayley. So it's like, who the hell are you to talk?
Fucking Mojo Rawley, man. Look at him go.
It's like, I want to think he's on roids, but he's not on
he's
roids.
On something. Like he took like a whole 6-pack of Starbucks espresso before he came out here. Like, holy shit. He's like me after drinking. He was like me after drinking all that fucking Mountain Dew.
I don't get caffeinated.
I stay caffeinated. He's just like hooked up like fucking Bane. It's like the fucking like just stick it through the veins. Wow, they looked really good early on until Murphy from behind just starts beating on Ryder. So the hot tag's gonna go to Mojo, and he's just gonna like go through everybody. He ain't hype. Shit. Crowd super behind him. Sadistic looking discus punch. Like, holy shit. He looks good. He's got the crowd on his side. He hits hard. Like, damn. Like, this guy's gonna break out. Like, I'm expecting this guy to break out soon.
His wrestling is a little bit iffy though.
Like, given time and experience, I feel like
big time, yeah.
Ryder to break up an eye rake and to turn things around with the Hype Rider, and the Hype Brothers winning another one. Joe backstage with Corbin's, we've never seen eye to eye, but tonight's about our opponents. Corbin says to Corbin? Getting a little too white out there, man. He's like, I'd never liked you, where you come from, or what you represent. I'm like, you're a rookie and you deserve nothing. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, thank you for clearing that up. Because had you left it at that, I'd have been like, okay. You're clearly the heel.
Mm-hmm.
Joe says to Ballard, you walk around and say I betrayed your friendship when after all the shit I did for you, I asked you for the title shot and you wouldn't give back to me. I'm like, yeah. Make that argument. I remember saying that last week, and Corbin says you two would be lucky if you make it to London. I'm like, they're gonna make it. Bayley taking quite the beating from her challenger, Peyton Royce. She might be just selling what happened to her last week. Like, she's actually like giving an inch to her. and just immediately just a surprise Bailey to belly, and it's over. And she's greeted by Nia Jackson, the Poison, Eva Marie shortly thereafter. Eva's like, before she even starts talking, the crowd's like drowning her ass out, kind of, so she has to like yell everything. It's like Vicky Guerrero's level of.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of a fan of Eva Marie, mainly because I give her some slack because she has like literally zero wrestling background. Meanwhile, everyone else has like at least some wrestling background, and she's like learning. She has to learn everything within this like small time frame, and at the very least, she's getting a reaction. So at the end of the day,
bad reaction better than no reaction. Yeah,
exactly. Would you rather have?
It would be worse if it was just like go home, like just nothing at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so she starts talking, and Nia takes the microphone. She's like, "I'm good. I don't need you to do my talking for me." And says Bailey, "You've been lucky. If I wasn't come here sooner, you would have never been NXT champion, NXT Women's Champion. I'm destined for greatness."
Isn't that what everybody says nowadays? They're destined.
I'm like, destined for greatness. I'm like, who else said that? But didn't Randy Orton do that?
He did.
It's not arrogance. It's destiny. And I know I went to Del Rio. He did the Destiny thing. Like, who else did Destined for Greatness? Maybe there's like a list or something like that. Like, maybe someone with like more time on their hands that could like. I feel like OSW Review would have a list of like who else was like destined for greatness, because they have like that huge background and know all that stuff.
The Chosen One.
The Chosen One, or the Chosen One. Oh, it's his world now. Or it was. Was I the only one in wanting Global Force Wrestling to beat TNA and have it be that from now on? Like, fighting for Dixie Carter. I'm like, who's the worst in that situation?
But at the same time, it's like,
yeah, it was weird.
Force Wrestling is only like 10 people.
Yeah. It's the only thing. They don't have the roster yet. Hoping they do at some point. Apollo meets with Baylor, saying, I've been calling you all week, man. You're head in the game. Balor's like, oh, don't worry. All you have to do is give them a taste of what they expected to take over. To Baylor Club.
I hate him so much.
I skipped through this because I was like, well, I'm gonna be hyped because I'm gonna be watching them go at Takeover. So I was like, I wasn't really like. It makes sense to do this, but I was like, because SmackDown's right around the corner. Once again, Samoa Joe wins via the clutch, so I'm like, okay, they're really putting. Oh, okay, they're really putting over the fact that Samoa might win it, and Baylor's gonna.
No, they're really pushing that whole submission.
Yes,
Samoan.
No one's tapped out of it yet, at least here, or no one's breaking out of it yet.
Here.
Yeah. But that's NXT. You had stuff for TNA this week?
Yes, I did. And let me just get this notes that I wrote down on a notepad. Okay, here we go. So the show starts off with Bobby Lashley versus Mahabali Shera. Which is...
That sounds good.
It does sound good because like these boys are both hot. Mahabali Shera more than Lashley. Mahabali Shera comes out with the Dirty Lee thing.
Old hotness versus new hotness. Dirty Lee. And wasn't that the one that won the award? Like, that was the best thing they did? That was the most over for that year for their Nagar Awards. The Dirty Lee. I forget which one won. They're starting to come back on YouTube. I think that some of their reviews have been on here, but I've still been keeping up with the site. They mentioned they had a review of the Owen Hart DVD saying it was kind of mismatched and kind of just slapdash and run together because, well, I'm like, for good reason, because it's still kind of like a stranglehold on it, so they couldn't really do all that much, unfortunately.
But yes, straight out the match, Shara with a clothesline to Lashley and just like just into the corner and just like stomp, 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 and then. But I noticed like about midway through the match, Shara's like, Shara looks at Lashley and is like, just like a little nod, like, "Hey, can I lift you?" Is like, or something along those lines. Is like, it's just but it's just like, yeah, and he just does it, and and he just it was kind of weird. It was like really botchy, but is a slide
Pardon me.
where he does like that, the inverted like the super hold, where you hold them up in the air suplex.
Is it like the
He's like, "Hey, can
stallings?
I do?"
Oh, it's like the
Yeah, the
stalling thing.
song. Yeah, it's like, "Hey, can I do this to you?" He's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." He's like, I didn't like it. Uh, but Lashley goes for the sky high, which is big, which is like the huge power bomb that he does, like the twisting power bomb.
Yeah, looks pretty good. I
But
think it was just like, didn't he call it the Dominator in WWE? Does he still use that?
yeah, that's exactly what he called it. Yeah. But Lashley then counters and just straight up into a spear. And Lashley, to my knowledge, at least, I don't think he's lost a match in this tournament. Like, you know how in order to get into like the top 16, you have to earn points. I don't think he's even lost a match in this entire tournament.
Yeah, so he'd probably still be in then.
So Lashley advances to the final four.
Hmm.
Meanwhile, an Eric Young promo right before Tigre Uno, Eric Young gives Tigre Uno just, "Hey, look, kid, I'm giving you the opportunity to leave now. If you don't, I will quote unquote hurt you." It's like, hurt, is that really the best you could come up with? But Tigreon is like, "Hey, all right, I'll leave." And then Eric Young says, yes, say, now then. And then when he turns around, Tigreon does that little Rey Mysterio off the top rope thing.
Who's that jumping out the sky?
Jumping off the boat. And for the most part, this is all Young. He like dominates Tigreon. He does a backbreaker, and then what can I remember? Oh yes, it just Tigreano goes like for the Hurricanrana off the steel ring steps. You know how we like you jump from the steel ring steps and it's the Hurricanrana. And a leg drop off the top rope by Tigreano, and he goes for another Hurricanrana off the top rope for a 2 count, and then Eric Young kicks out of that. And then Eric Young is like, "Okay, it's my turn." Eric Young just a straight up power bomb, and then when that doesn't work, a pile driver. And then after the match, he pile drives him again. But I've been noticing something about these TNA matches. There are no replays. So if you look away for like a second, the match is over. Because that happened to me twice.
Oh, really?
I looked away. Because like, I looked away. It's like I was on my phone like doing something. It's like, then I hear the bell, ding, 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 and you're a winner. It's like, wait, can I get replay? Nope, no replays.
I think I've had that happen to me at one point during a match. So, well, that's why I DVR everything nowadays.
Mm. The third match, Jesse Goddard is the modern day Adonis, if you will. Comes out to versus Matt Hardy, which I like to think Jesse Goddard is. What if Matt Morgan and Chris Masters had a baby?
Yes, I can totally see that.
Because like he comes out with like the Matt Morgan robe, the blueprint robe.
Yeah, he's doing the Ric Flair masterpiece shit kind of now. That they give all the like, oh, I'm pretty now. Give me a robe to accentuate my beauty. Ah.
Hang on, just then. Fuck.
Oh,
Shoot. Yeah, I gotta be right back. Can you cover SmackDown?
okay.
Well, I'll come back to TNA.
All right.
I mean, yeah.
Okay. It was in the middle of What was it? What was he remembering? I'll write that down. Jesse Gutters. That was what I did. Okay, so SmackDown kicks off with Reigns versus Del Rio with their respective factions watching their back. Del Rio doing the... I guess he's showing solidarity to Sheamus because at some point during this match he puts his hands out like Sheamus is like, oh, Viva Mexico or something like that. I couldn't quite make it out, but it looked like the Sheamus pose, like when he does his intro, like, oh, Bella! It was like doing Spanish. I guess he's showing solidarity for once. I mean, he kind of kicked Zeb to the curb because he embarrassed him that one time. He's like, hater! Well, he didn't say like, you're a hater, Del Rio. My mustache detects hate. It's a character trait of mine. So poor Zeb. But yeah, like Roman beat 4-on-1 odds with the league, so I was thinking this should be like a no-brainer to him. But this, what I did see was an amazing match. I was like, okay, I like this. But I knew there was going to be shenanigans at the end, or Roman was going to win somehow. So they have Del Rio show us why he is the U.S. champ and Roman the number one contender till the league pulls Del Rio to the outside to save him from being beaten up. So Roman runs out and jumps Sheamus. So the match gets thrown out as the factions ward out. So, sorry, I keep flicking this. They're going to get an 8-man tag match main event due to this. The faces win that, of course. Ziggler versus Breeze once again. Breeze gets caught with a super kick and Ziggler wins that. But they're back and forth. I'm like, Breeze can't get a break. He got a pay-per-view win, and then since then he's been like, hey. So this is what I mean. Like, don't have much for this because Raw again was like, which makes SmackDown even more Like, if Raw is like bad, then SmackDown is nigh unwatchable in my opinion, and it showed and. Didn't miss a whole hell of a lot here. I fast forwarded through most of this, honestly. New Day come out, though, saying LeBron James just signed a huge contract with Nike. But the New Day are huge stars. Where's our endorsement deals? We can sell kicks. Check out Goofy's. And he's like, my shoes so fly, they got wings on. And sure enough, he's got the wing boots and these fucking powder blue boot with the wings on him, and now he's got little lights on the back made to look like fucking jets. So, and then the New Day's on, and then everything else was like I said, I fast forwarded everything, but I made sure to catch this. This was Xavier and Kofi wrestling this one against the Lucha Dragons as Big E on the outside for once. Like, oh, Xavier's doing one. So Big E is like, he's got the trombone outside and unfortunately can't play it. He's like, he's blowing into it, but nothing's coming out. He's like, how do I work this? Big E's like, should have stuck with the kazoo, my man, but you ate that. Yeah. You're never seeing that again. Should have kept with that kazoo.
I forgot. You had a few pairs.
Oh man, you're still kind of.
I'm still kind of what?
I guess you were still kind of cutting out a little bit.
You only had a few paragraphs of SmackDown, didn't you?
Yeah, I already said the Sheamus Del Rio, Rusev Reigns Del Rio match. Ugh, I'm all over the place. That was actually a good match. They're both showing why they are indeed U.S. champion number one contender for the title until the heels drag Del Rio out and then the faces get involved. Like Roman immediately jumps on Sheamus. Once again, asshole move. Like he probably could have won the match if he just had Del Rio jump in, but instead tried to make your way to Del Rio and like I said, the heels walk out. But no, instead just immediately jumping on Sheamus. He's like, "What did you do? You threw the chair. You threw the tail. Laddered him.
The ladder.
You threw the fucking ladder at me. I will never not get over that."
You called me a tater tot, and I just stood there.
Belittling me is one thing. Like I can let that slide because it's like, Like, if I was out there, I'd be like, oh, very good. You really are the Rock's cousin. You ring your dogs bark when you ring the bell, you know? You got catchphrases, okay? You got people can latch on because they know that I'm still gonna be champion after this. They can't do a damn thing about it. I'm heel. Like that, like have a good witty comeback at least, like, you know. That's why I never hated Triple H for being like heel champion, because he could back it up, because he gave as good as he got, honestly, more often than not. But let's see, where was I? The New Days, they want endorsement deals because LeBron James got one, and it's like we can sell kicks.
A lifetime that I can get.
Yeah, huge deal apparently. Like, but he's Kofi's got the kicks on with the wings on him and little tiny like lights on the back to make them look like jets. I was like, oh my god. They show the close up on this.
I want to know if that's actually a thing.
Oh man, that'll sell like hotcakes.
Mm-hmm.
Guaranteed. If they can get the horns to sell, come on. I'm like, oh. But yeah, Xavier and Kofi were wrestling this one, so he was struggling with the trombone on the outside, like I mentioned. He's like, how do I work device?
I know. He's like, how do
I'm
you
like,
work this?
whatever you do, don't eat it. Like, you ate that kazoo from Edge and Christian that one time. I don't know how. I'm like, you probably had to pass that for the eventually. I don't know what a trombone would have done to you. You might have had to like be like, I can't make the pay-per-view. Kalisto once again showing like, speaking of breakout stars like Mojo Rawley, because Kalisto's getting all the wins, like, and he gets another one here. Contract signing for the Intercontinental title.
Also, before we go into that, did you notice the botch from Sin Cara in that match?
Oh, was there one?
Yeah, he tries to go for a roll up, but Kofi rolls too far, so he rolls out of the roll up.
Oh.
And he's like, oh crap, well, then I'm going to do another roll-up, and then it works, but it only gets a 2 count. Actually, no, it doesn't get a 2 count. It gets, it does get a 2 count, because Kalisto wins by Selena Del Sol, because, yes. Hey, you have to give the Gum some hope for that the Lucha Dragons are going to win, even though they're not.
No, I don't believe that. Like you got to give Kalisto, like, because he's been, like, doing pretty well. Because there was that thing where it's like, oh, he may be world champion someday. Like a month ago, we were talking about that. Like, holy shit, he beat Ryback.
I know, he beat
Ryback.
Like,
damn.
And then,
Del Rio hopefully we're starting to see shades of that. And then Del Rio, yeah.
He's like, oh, are you getting a push? Let me get my shovel.
But anyway, the contract signing. Ambrose out there, but with an attorney representing Owens. Ambrose a little disappointed because he knows how this shit goes. And sure enough, he's like, he usually comes out here. I belittle him. I for a little while until I get bored and flip this table over and we throw hands. And I usually win at those. So again, Ambrose doing his genre savvy. He's like, he knows how these go.
Honestly, I am not rooting for Ambrose like at all this summer. This whole feud, mainly because if I have a thing, if you're fighting Kevin Owens, you're getting no cheers from me. It's going all to Kevin Owens.
This is gonna split the crowd in half, to be sure. That's what I see this as. I see this to be like the possible match of the night sleeper hit kind of thing, where the crowd's gonna be like split part. Like, let's go Owens, let's go Ambrose.
There's actually a poll on WrestleZone right now of who's got Ambrose and Owens. Ooh. It's 51 to 49 right now.
That's awesome. But yeah, Owens has like this red statement and a power of attorney, so his attorney actually signing it makes it official. It's I don't know. I forget what he said. It was like basically like he was a prick on Monday, and I'm not coming out here. And like this guy's my attorney, and he's gonna sign for me. I've given this guy all my legal rights and everything. I trust him
by power of attorney.
Yeah, basically, yeah, literally says the power of attorney. So, and of course Ambrose looks.
I'm not sure if that's a thing.
I guess it's a thing where it's like, okay, he's gonna sign instead of Owens. Is basically what it is. Because Owens has to come from behind and jump Ambrose while he's about to sign. I'm like, oh, okay, guess he doesn't want that match.
He never signed. He never signed.
Yeah, he never signed. That would be a great thing to do. I would totally do that. Like, I don't have a match with him. You don't get shit. Like, I say steal the contract and run. Like, ha ha. He's leaving with the contract. Stop him.
He's going back to Quebec.
Just runs for the board. They can't touch me. International.
He gives it to his son. Here, son. Use this as like a like drawing paper.
It's like, hey, I got you this. It's a contract. It's a contract, and it's signed by me. Wait, I thought your attorney signed it. It's signed. It's signed by me. What? I'm heel. Owens attacks from behind. Ambrose fighting back enough for Owens to throw his own attorney at Ambrose as he runs away. Like, that's your attorney. You just threw him to the wolves. Like, okay, now you're the asshole.
And then Jerry made a comment. Well, I can't say that I'm sad to see an attorney get thrown, but
like, who's the bigger asshole now? You threw your own attorney at him. It's like, that's what I have the champ. We are the Ascension, and we will job to a 2-on-1 with Ryback. Like, this was like, I fast forwarded this. It must take like 30 seconds because I knew that we were gonna win. And Ryback does have a match with Rusev set for Sunday, and like Rusev's like they're about to get in his face, but Lana gets in front. She's like, God, like, oh, my husband. It's like, oh, Rusev, crush. It's like, oh no. Charlotte walking out to the ring during a Becky Lynch Paige match. Enough of a distraction to help her friend Becky win via disarmer. I'm like, okay, less heel.
Weird.
Less heel. I guess they're still kind of friends. You know, I'm like, because I was at first like, who's she more heel for? And I'm like, oh right, she has a match with. Yeah, I can see why you'd be weirded out by it, because I was like, she's heel, but who is she heel against? Like who's she out for? Like who's like she's up to something, but who?
A limited heel.
Yes.
It's like, I'll be heel to you, but I'll be buddy with you.
But yeah, and then the faces win the main event, of course. But anyway, you were
I zoned out. I zoned out at the
yeah, I know. TNA, Jesse Goddard, you were mentioning.
Yes, Jesse Goddard versus Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy puts over Jesse Goddard as like, he builds him up like, hey, he's a great guy. He's good looking, and he's like, yeah. And he's like, he really puts him over, like saying he's the man, but in order to be the man, the only one who can be considered the man is the person who holds that World Heavyweight Championship. And it's like, hey, nice pandering. Love it. At least they're giving Goddard a chance, you know?
Matt Hardy was former champion. I guess that counts for.
In 2015, of all things. But yes, I'll just skip like to the end, because like this is more or less like the whole back and forth thing. Like, hey, I'm gonna get a thing, and so, yeah. Hardy with an elbow drop to Goddard for a 2 count. Then Hardy, after the 2 count, he goes straight into the twist of fate. But then Goddard counters with a drop kick, a straight up drop kick. Like, it hit him in Matt Hardy's chest. That's how high it was.
Wow.
Then Goddard goes for the Adonis Crab, which is basically like a Boston Crab, but he's like built like super strong. So he destroys his victims with this. It's I like that move because it really fits Goddard's. Because he makes like a more of a reaction than guy being put in the crab. He's like being like his face is about to explode whenever he does it. He's like But Hardy reaches for the rope to break the hold. Then Goddard's straight up boots Hardy to the chest, and then Goddard's not squeezes him, but he's like presses him on it's like a shoulder press. But Hardy escapes that, and then out of nowhere a twist of fate to end the match, because hey, why the fuck not? So Hardy advances to the semifinals. And
so it's Lashley, Matt Hardy.
It's Lashley, Matt Hardy, and Eric Young, and now final match. Davey Richards versus EC3 with
Oh,
Tyrus. Now, it's interesting because like this is actually the best match of the night, and it's also the longest match of the night.
your main event.
um, Davey Richards, for those who don't know, is one half of the Wolves.
Yes.
Uh, Davey Richards cuts a promo. Was like, I don't have like a rich aunt like you, and AC3 is like, yeah, that's me. I have a rich aunt.
Yeah, that's me. I'm heel. That's why I love EC3. He's unabashedly heel. It's like, okay, this is good.
It's like, I don't have a spray can like you. Wait, whoa, spray can. Whoa, hold up.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
And I don't have a. I forgot what he said. Something of like I think fat bodyguard like Tyruson's like I was like, hey, wait a minute.
He's not
And
fat.
there's something like that.
He's
Something
not
along
fat. He's
those
big
lines.
boned.
He's big boned. He's like, somebody call my mama. um, but yes, this is a really long match, and I'm not gonna lie, I zoned out for most of it because I not zoned out.
You're
Like I'm
distracted by
looking at my
something.
phone.
You checked your
Yeah,
phone.
I'm
You
like on
said,
my phone. Yeah, I'm because I'm like at the same time I'm like checking Twitter for like new news articles,
"Mm-hmm. I do that.
WDTNA,
I do that."
and Tyrus interferes and just like slaps Richards when the referee's not looking. Just and so Tyrus really playing off that though I am number one contender, I am still gonna act as the
Keep your
bodyguard.
friends close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, could be.
Uh, yes. Richards with a freaking brain buster for a 2 count. I'd never seen a brain buster in a long time.
Yeah.
Richards then goes for the creeping death, which is basically his singles move, which is how should I put this? I'm not sure. It's like a yeah. I'd have to show you a video in order to like, because like I'm not really that whole savvy on technical terms, but it doesn't matter because EC3 counters with a 1% attempt though, but. And then Richards tries to roll Carter up, and it's like, okay, we're gonna have a shaman, but no, Carter's like, screw that, I'm the star of the show, and just hits Davey Richards with a sit out TKO, and then transfers into the 1%er. So EC3 advances to the semifinals. So now next week on Impact, it'll be uh, Matt Hardy versus Eric Young versus Bobby Lashley versus
Oh, Fatal 4-Way.
No, it'll be not. That's why I thought it too first, but no.
Oh?
Next week it's just gonna be straight. It's gonna be Matt Hardy versus Eric Young and Bobby Lashley versus EC3, and the winners of those matches
Oh, okay. They're singles
will
match.
go on to
Okay.
will go on to Pop TV.
Oh, their debut. They're like, who's gonna be the champion? Yeah, perfect.
Exactly.
Perfect.
That's how it's gonna work.
Okay, yeah, that's smart.
Which is January 5th, by the way.
Yes. When's
Also,
that?
news
That's
on
still
Lucha
Wednesdays,
Underground.
right? Tuesdays.
Thursday, yeah, Tuesdays.
Tuesdays. Okay. All right. So day
Also-
after Raw. Ooh. Okay.
No, it's actually going to be the same time as not the same time, but the same day as SmackDown.
Oh, SmackDown. That's not SmackDown. Was Thursdays.
They're moving it to Tuesdays.
They are. Oh shit.
I think. Isn't that what they said in the commercial? Like,
No.
Tuesday, right?
Bray was like Thursday.
Oh, okay.
They're just moving networks.
Oh, okay. Also, news on
They're
Lucha
doing on
Underground Season
Tuesday,
2.
but it's tape delay. So.
Mm-hmm. That's why it's heavily edited.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, but news on Lucha Underground. Lucha Underground is premiering Season 2 is January 23rd. And to hype it up, from January 6th all the way to the 23rd, all of Season 1
Oh.
is just going to be a marathon.
Yo. Get caught up on it.
It'll
Yeah. Walking Dead that shit.
5
man.
hours 5 hours a day from
Damn.
they said but yeah, 5 hours a day on the El Rey network, and then it'll build up to Season 2. So in case you missed any of Lucha Underground at all, that's
Oh,
and
yeah.
if you
That's how you do it.
and if you have And if you have El Rey, the El Rey network, but in order to get the El Rey network, you need Time Warner Cable. So,
I still haven't looked into it
but
yet.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I think that covers it. Also,
Yes.
someone in the chat mentioned. I forgot to mention this. Platinum Games, I guess, following their success with the Transformers, they're doing a Ninja Turtles one.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that's Alias as well. Someone brought up that they want to use the Turtle Power song in that Ninja Turtles game they're making. I'm like, yeah,
but
make that Alias too.
Like if it's anything like the Transformers game or the core game, it's going to be really short. So,
yeah,
I expect it to be like really short.
Yeah, that was kind of. I think what was it, like 6-7 missions, but there was a lot to do in it. I think it's how they go about it. And Korra was still.
I think someone did a speed run of the Transformer games in 2 hours.
Yeah, and Korra was like even more bare bones than that, from what I've seen.
Also, Daniel Bryan
it's
thinking
like
of
an old
leaving
NES
WWE.
game now. It's like they have like the weird difficulty, but you still get your money's worth because even though they're short, it's still like kind of like difficult, and you can get a lot out of it. It's what my take on it is. But anyway, we were saying.
Daniel Bryan is thinking of leaving WWE.
Yeah, I did see that. He might not be able to come back in after all.
Though he is technically cleared by the outside doctors, WWE doctors haven't said a thing yet.
They haven't said anything, yeah.
But he said that it won't be the end of his wrestling career. Actually, no. I think he said he's not going to be. It'll be the end of his wrestling career, but it won't be the end of his career. So I guess he's moving out of Hollywood. I don't know. I think he could also be like a trainer or something.
Yeah,
like the same way.
Backstage trainer.
Other than that, I think we're good.
That should cover the podcast. I think I got a couple more people coming in here slowly but surely. You know,
it's soon will be more popular than OSW.
And they're like 20, 60 something. I'll probably be not even on here by then. Hook me a door, Dallas machine. This show.
Speaking of which, remember when we first started out, we were like, hello. It was like,
hello. Oh, Jack said he did mention W asked him about being a trainer or commentator. Commentary would be good.
Commentator would be interesting. Also, speaking of, I think the main reason I cannot stand WWE today is the announce team.
Yeah.
Because for main reason, I really, really hate Byron Saxton so much. Mainly because he's like a little naive kid in a way. He's like,
yeah.
Well, why would he do that? Why would he do that? Because he's a fucking heel, Brian. Oh my god. He's like, so he's just gonna do this? Is he? Yeah. That
it's not in a good, endearing way either.
And then you also have Michael Cole, who was just Michael Cole, and then JBL, who was like, God, I can't deal with JBL.
$49.95, Michael, and you got the network.
Not
which Japan doesn't even have yet. I think they're getting theirs a little later.
Japan is getting it.
They're getting it. They haven't gotten it yet. I did see that get tweeted out earlier. That's coming.
Oh,
it's like this.
Wow. It's okay. They got New Japan to keep them company.
I'm kind of liking Corey Graves a little bit.
Oh, he's great. I love him because he's actually a real heel commentator, and he breaks kayfabe, but without breaking kayfabe.
Yeah, he's explaining it in like how he would explain his own actions. Like he's like, oh, she did this, and like, oh, what? You're like the all of a sudden like, oh, the fix is in because she did this or whatever. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you get off your. Like, kind of how JBL started out before he started becoming insufferable in his own right. Started, like, being, like, a Friday on Fridays, Michael. Black helicopters.
And I love how he always puts Byron in his place.
Yeah, putting him through the paces. The new guy. Throwing shade on him.
Also... No, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
We thank all of you for joining us. And
all 2 of you?
Well, there was like all close to 3. We were like kind of in and out, kind of. I was getting more than usually, dude. Usually it's just Korak, but now we got Dracus. We got Dracus here today. We got Lyser for a little bit. Welcome.
He's like, hey, what's going on here? Oh, you talking?
This will go up a little later.
Lyser was probably like, hey, is Renault streaming? No, he's just talking about wrestling. Bye.
Oh.
But yeah, this was the podcast.
The not so Baron Corbin edition, because you just came in. That's what I was originally calling it before you came in, like immediately after I entered it. So right on time.
The not world elite.
The not world elite, because we're both Americans. Haters.